every week on Bravo. I am joined by my lovely co-host Sonia, who is Bravo Books and Bravo, and also
You
just
got it.
yes, and just booking around. And I'm Real Mel's of Bravo. Let's get into it because we have a lot to talk about. First, the Kyle and Amanda of it all, and
That was
specific,
yeah.
yeah.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, specifically, okay, so I don't think that everyone was ready for that kind of first episode that we got where it's just we're right back, we're in it, and we've picked
Mhm.
up basically there every other season. It's like a Kyle and Amanda don't like each other season, but this is like amped up.
Yeah. Yeah. It started out like they weren't even together. The way that they were acting, or not, I don't want to say acting, but it seemed that Amanda had checked out. And it
Yeah.
reminded
Yeah.
me of the whole Paige and Craig, right? Last summer, we saw Paige, she was hesitant. She didn't know if she wanted to move forward with Craig. Meanwhile, Craig's
Yeah.
over in Charleston, like, I have a girlfriend. We're getting married. I'm looking at rings. And it kind of seemed the same thing that Amanda, she may not have verbalized that she was done, but her behaviors, her actions were showing that I think she was done. She may not have known it, but we're seeing it. And
Oh,
Kyle just seems
yes.
lost.
No,
Kyle's like, what
totally.
about, yeah, what
To
about
the
our behavior
audience,
patterns? Yeah.
yeah, like to the audience, it was very clear that she was done. She's hit her limit. And but now we're at the very beginning of the season. So where are we going from here?
I know. And Kyle just seemed off though, because even when they were moving all the stuff from the cars, the bags
Mhm.
into the house, you noticed how at one point it was going to rain and Kyle came in and he's telling Sierra, like, you need to help. When it was like, Sierra and Paige never help. That's not something new. It's just one of those things. Okay, she's not going to do it. Then why are you kicking her out and then opening up a Loverboard drink?
Yeah, I thought that that was a weird, like, no, like get your own bags kind of thing when it's like years of
Yeah.
you getting our bags, and now all of a sudden, like, no. And yeah, it was interesting. It was definitely like we're picking up a lot has happened that we didn't see, but you brought up a really valid reason and kind of theory that I guess Kyle had said that he thinks that the audience is gonna kind of turn on Amanda eventually.
hmm Oh yeah. He did he hint to that or where you can see how it could happen. So we start the season where Kyle just thinks, "Oh, that's my wife. Oh, I want to be with her on the car ride." And she's like, "I don't want to be with you. What are you talking
Mhm.
about? Like, go
Mhm.
with the guys. I'm with the girls." And I think this kind of repeated behaviors of Amanda, it's going to turn off viewers.
Yeah.
Which in her, she's put up with so much. We've watched her put up,
Yes.
but we forget. I feel like
Yes.
every minute, everything that she does is just, I mean, in response to everything he has done, going out, cheating, everything. But we forget all that and are like, oh, Kyle's such a great husband. What are you doing?
Yeah, like why are you being so mean to him? Like he wants to hang out with you when January through June, he was performing almost every weekend. I guess they weren't seeing each other much, but now they're filming and then it's changed. It's different. And he's like, I want to see you.
Yeah. Which, and in their relationship, it's, if you look at it, it's always been him going up. That was always been the crux of the relationship from the very
Hmm.
beginning, right? We met Amanda in a breakup scene, didn't we? The first time we saw her was season one, and he said, well, I'm going to be in the Hamptons. You're going to be at the Jersey Shore. Let's separate. So we see him always being the one in control of the relationship. Then it was, he always goes out to party. He'll never stay home with me.
Yeah.
And then, okay, all right, we're gonna work for it. Oh, we've got to build Loverboy. We've got to focus on that. Oh, but in order to build Loverboy, I've got to go out and I've got to meet with people. Okay, okay, fine, fine. She's okay with it. And then eventually, it's like, all right, I want to start something for me. We've been doing Loverboy. Well, I want to be a DJ. Okay, let me go out at night and be a DJ. And now I'm not home with you. Like, at what point
Yeah.
did they come back together from this?
No, it's so true because just with what you just laid out, all of those examples, it's all about him. It's always about him. It's never about her. It's never making compromises for her. And if you watch back, which I think both of us have seen Summer House from the beginning, and if you
Right.
watch back, Kyle, it's like he's missing that accountability. Yes, you're right. I need to work on this. Like he does that sometimes, but a lot of times he just comes back at her and he's like, "But you do this, or you ignore me, or you
Yeah.
do this," right? And it's like that. Like, no, you need to take this on and realize
Yeah.
that you are acting like this.
Yeah. I don't know that they could break this behavior pattern that they have.
Yeah.
Uh, he's always done what he wants to do, and Amanda just has to deal with it. And when she's now putting up the block, like, I'm
Mhm.
done,
Yeah.
he's not knowing how to react to that because that's how their relationship has always been. So, how do you
Right.
break something that's how the relationship was originally established on? Whereas Kyle does what he wants, and Amanda has to accept it because for whatever reason, he's trying to make money for the family. She has to accept it. Well, she's done accepting it. What happens to their relationship?
No, seriously. We wanna say hi to everyone in the chat.
Hi.
Um, literally, we were already starting to see kind of some of the comments that people are posting out there that they're like, Amanda's being too hard on him, or Amanda this, like Kyle's a great husband, like you said. And
Mhm.
so it does seem like a slippery slope this season.
And it's hard watching these reality shows in a vacuum. When you jump in one season, you are going to have a perception of a character, a reality
Mhm,
star,
mhm.
whereas you don't necessarily know them. So when you're making your opinion, okay, that's may how it looks right now, but there are seasons past where he has treated her horribly that you'll just never know unless you watch those episodes.
That's so true. I know. I guess I never thought about that. I know. And I try to remember everything, but I forget too. And I feel like, oh, well, they made up. They're happy again.
I know.
Right. And then it's like, oh, no, no, they really aren't. And she is just over it. And you can just tell. And it looks like we're going to get a Kyle and Carl fight.
What is that about? Because it seems
Right.
in this episode, Carl's trying to come in as the voice of reason.
Hmm.
I'm the one that what was it, his their wedding? He officiated their
He
wedding. I
married
want to see you
them.
together. But I would imagine it's Carl trying to somehow mediate between them. But even from that dinner that they were having, I feel like they were in Kyle and Amanda were in two different worlds. I don't even know how you can mediate between them. He's saying one thing to the table, Kyle. She's misinterpreting, saying, "Oh, I'm jealous. I'm not jealous." What's going on here? There's so much deep-seated anger that she
No,
has.
there really is. And I don't blame her, but like like the awkwardness of that dinner when they are kind of airing out their dirty laundry to these new people, and it's like, oh, like they don't need to know
Yeah,
everything, but it is a reality show too, and you are trying to just,
right.
it
But
does seem, yeah. Oh,
would you say Amanda is conflict avoidant?
oh, yeah,
Because I
definitely.
wonder if it's so much conflict avoidance that does Kyle even really know how upset Amanda is? And has she always just skirted it
Mhm,
under the rug? And
mhm.
then when you do that, like the passive aggression starts bubbling up. And
Yeah.
I wonder if that bubbling up is what's going to really affect how she is perceived by the audience.
Yeah. And we do get like maybe, like it bubbles, and we do get like one big fight from them, maybe a season, right? But mostly do think she's just like shoving it under the rug,
I
like, I'm
know.
no, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. And if he always thinks that she's fine with it, then he's never gonna realize,
Yes.
right, when she hits her limit and she's like, I'm not fine about this, then what happens? He's like, wait,
Because,
she's
yeah.
always been fine. Now she's not?
And he's not reading into it like women do, like the bed bugs are doing, analyzing every conversation they have, every move. He's probably like, she's not saying anything. Okay. She's
Mhm.
not like I hate to say it, but like the Katie ultimatum and Vanderpump Rules. If she were to give him an ultimatum, either you stop DJing or you stop the late night. So not even stop DJing. She seemed fine when she said
Yeah,
her friend who DJs then comes home and doesn't party. If you do that and come home, I'm okay. If you're going to continue this, I can't stay. How would Kyle respond to an ultimatum like that?
I don't probably not well, but yeah, like
Yeah.
maybe you have to give him that kind of thing. And it was kind of interesting to see Carl talking to Sierra about Amanda and Kyle because normally he kind of stays out of it, or maybe it's just
Yes.
because he's been dealing with him and Lindsay for the past couple
Yeah.
of seasons, so he didn't have that opportunity. But now it seems like he's like willing to like get in the mix, as he said. He's in the mix
Yeah.
this season.
Mhm.
It seems like a new Carl too,
It does. Okay, so I
right?
noticed that as well.
Yeah.
Not quite the Carl we had early on seasons, right? But then as he's been going through his sobriety, he's been with Lindsay, it's been a more very hesitant, like he lost his
Yes.
confidence.
Yes.
And
And
this season it's coming back, it seems.
he even
Right?
says that he's like, I'm kind of like, this is the first time I'm like a real human or like I feel like, yes, he has gotten his confidence and he's ready to embrace who he is now that he's sober. Oh, we're talking about Summer House. This is a Bravo recap. So, yeah, I'm excited
I,
for Carl this
I
season.
am too. I listened to we talked a little bit about his book. You haven't read
Yes.
it, right? We talked about
No.
wanting to, both of us wanting
Yeah.
to. I heard him on Chrissy Teigen's podcast talking about his addiction, his story. It is really fascinating. And he is a good speaker. I can imagine that he becomes, if he isn't already a motivational speaker, hearing his story and the things that he has gone through
Mhm.
and where you can hear his confidence. He talked about dating Lindsay and how his sponsor had told him, and just in the steps, like within the first year of sobriety, you shouldn't be dating. And he said,
Yeah.
in a way, he said, I don't want to blame Lindsay. She was such a good person to me, but I kind of traded out the drugs and the alcohol for a girlfriend. So
Mhm.
I wonder, and
Mhm.
I'm going to ask you this, if they had stayed together, do you
Yes.
think that, and she got pregnant right away, where they would be now? So that would make them like married a year with maybe like a 1 year old.
With a baby? I
Yeah.
think unfortunately, I think that he would still have the kind of confidence that he had a couple years ago, so not much. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And just kind of
Yeah.
be like Lindsay's kind of like, "Okay, yeah." Like she makes the rules and he lives by them.
Yeah. I think he leaned on her to help him with his sobriety.
Yes, yes. And she's
And
so
when
strong and
she
powerful
is,
force, you know what I mean? That if you have someone like that in your corner, I feel like that's awesome, but it just
yeah.
wasn't the right fit.
And I think when he had said, even in that interview, like she was sober at the beginning. And I think that helped him because his confidence was so low, like to go out with other people's and having
Yes.
your partner who's also sober is great. And I wondered if when he started having to get more independent. And
Mhm.
that was more of the struggle as opposed to him and Lindsay. But it's good
Also,
seeing them together
yeah.
now.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely, and, he went out on the first episode. He was out they all went out or whatever well,
Yeah, he
some of them did.
did.
He went out, and it just made me think I was like, "Wow, he must be extremely confident to go out with people to a bar or club, and you're not drinking or doing
I
anything,
know.
and to, like, have fun or, 'Yeah, I'll go,' like, I don't even think I wanna do that, and,
I
like,
know.
I drink, but, like, sometimes I'm like, ugh, I don't wanna be around, like, a bunch of drunk people, you know?
Yeah.
And so I was really like, "Wow, Carl, like,
Yeah.
okay." He's, like, really
Yeah.
having fun and enjoying, I think, his newfound life.
Absolutely. I wonder
I
if like writing the book and going out there and, getting accolades and he might be
yeah.
someone and some of us need that, right? We need that encouragement and the kudos, the pats on the back in order to gain that confidence. And
Mhm.
maybe the success of his book and now he's got a podcast has helped him with it.
Yes, that's so exciting. I wanna talk about the new people. We've
Yeah.
only met a couple of them so far, but we met 2 new girls, Bailey and Levi, I think her name is.
Yes. The corn
We
husk on her head or
Yes, the
something.
corn
Yeah.
the cornhusk girl. And we met KJ, who's
Yeah.
West's friend, and we met Ben,
Right.
who's the Australian bachelor. I guess he was
Yeah.
the bachelor in Australia. I'm like, "Oh my gosh." So there's 2 more people that we're gonna meet, but we haven't met them yet, right? Or 1
Right.
more
Well,
or
there's a
2
girl and
more.
then
I think
there's
there's
two
2
girls.
more girls.
Okay.
One of them
So
is
I'm
Sierra's friend. So
Oh, I
she'll
didn't realize that.
yeah, because I watched a little sneak peek of next week's episode and she
Oh,
knows
next week.
Sierra and she got Sierra her apartment like in her same building. So she's like actually a real friend. And
Okay.
then there's, I think, another new girl that I think KJ is gonna be interested
I saw
in.
her. She's the one that I saw. Okay.
Okay,
So
yeah.
at this point, it's disjointed because of, well, one, the age. Kyle and
Yes.
Carl are like my age. We're in our 40s. We're not doing share houses, right? I mean, at this
Yeah.
age, if you're getting a rental in the Hamptons, I would assume you're not doing a share house with 10
It would
other
be
people
with your
in real
family
life.
or just
Yeah,
you and
just
your
you,
significant
right?
other or just you, exactly.
So I've heard that in the city. I think I don't know if this was it Dorinda maybe on her radio show, but saying that that's going to be for the girls, like Lindsay, Amanda, and
Oh.
so I wonder if Kyle went with them this season to play out the rest of the relationship with Amanda because Carl was in an interview saying, "Oh, I hope to be on Summer House season 25." So I'm wondering if that's going to be the split,
Mm.
but I would say split it by age because I
Yeah.
actually think Bailey is a strong enough character. I found her that she came off as a strong enough character that she may able to hang in the house because I think with the girls are so they are the show. Like when I think of the show, I think of the girls and they have such strong personalities that I just don't
Yeah.
see other girls coming in that are not their best friends. Right. I feel
Yeah.
like they have to be within their tight circle in order. Like Amanda doesn't fit with this Bailey and Levi.
No, not at all.
There's no connection,
It's very strange.
right?
Yeah, we're on 2 different shows here that
Right.
are just
Yes.
conjointed. It's
Yes.
almost like when Vanderpump Rules introduced those new people because they were gonna move the old people to the valley
Yes.
and start
Yes.
fresh, and the fandom went crazy. They were like,
That was the awkward
"No." Right? It was just
addition.
like we were like,
Dana,
yeah, and that guy Max and that other guy, Gabe, maybe his name was.
which the funny thing is with them though, Max is still good friends with those Vanderpump guys.
Yep.
Dana is best friends with Katie and has a
Yes.
podcast like that. So it's like maybe us as viewers, we don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe the producers
yeah.
know more, but this just like Bailey and Levi and
No.
they just don't make. Now I could see them hanging maybe with West and Jesse,
Jesse,
the
yeah.
younger crowd. It could work, but I think Kyle can't come back next season. And the way they started it, the episode. What did you think of the way they started it? Where they said 10 years ago, they did that middle
Oh,
narrative.
I know. I mean, I feel like they do this a lot now. They did it with Vanderpump
Oh,
Rules, like the muddled sound of Lisa Vanderpump's voice, and then it was like the slow version of the song.
yeah.
But yeah,
But
I
that
do.
ended.
Yes, like I do think that it's time for them to move to the new
Yeah.
show in the city or whatever. It's in the city or the city, whatever,
One of the two.
right?
Yeah.
Carl and Kyle need to go on that show. I don't
Yes.
I
Yes.
think Carl and Kyle are great on Summer House, but we've seen them in that capacity. Why can't I want to see Kyle running Loverboy? I want to see Carl running his
Yeah.
soft bar,
So
running the
far.
marathon,
Mhm.
marathon. Like let's see those things, writing his book, even though we already did that. You know what I mean?
But still, his podcast, yeah,
Yeah,
there's
like
plenty to
let's
tell.
see them accomplishing other things that's not partying in a share house.
I don't want to see Kyle dating.
Me
I don't want not
neither.
in the
Me
summer house.
neither.
I don't want to see
No.
that in the summer
I
house.
don't wanna see Kyle hooking up with someone in the summer house. You know what I mean?
No.
Like,
Yeah.
no, he
Even Carl.
I
I
don't want
feel like
yeah, I don't
Carl
wanna see
has a
that
good
either.
it's I hate to say it, but it's kind of a good ending for him.
I
We've watched them in
agree.
10 years. Even Kyle, I mean, there is a shelf life on some of these reality
Yeah.
stars. Like Amanda, I want to see her story. Lindsay, I want to see her single mom in New York
Mhm.
City. But Sierra, well, where does Sierra go?
I it depends. If I do think I see her on the city because she's great friends with Amanda. I would love to see her going to modeling gigs and, doing everything that she does. But if her and Wes get together again, then there's still a spot for her on Summer
True,
House.
true.
I
This
don't
is a
know if that's
relationship
gonna like
class.
materialize, unfortunately.
I
I feel
know.
like that's a lot of hype, but I think in the end he's gonna be stupid again.
Yeah, I completely agree. If he showed once that he got a little bit of fame, And he put, you know what? He pulled exactly what Kyle pulled in season one when he broke up with Amanda because he was going to be on a television show.
Yeah, yeah,
That
you're
is the
right.
exact same thing that he did. So Sierra, learning from experience, should not go back. She needs
Yeah,
someone off camera. She
I
needs someone with a nine
agree.
to five. Like she needs to be the same with
Yeah,
Amanda. They both need to be the star in the relationship. They already are a star. Like don't go like Austin. No, go for
no.
someone who's just a doctor, whatever, nine to
Someone
five.
exactly, someone, like, who doesn't wanna be on camera. You know, someone who's like, "No,
Yes,
you do that, but like, more private," which I
yes,
love for our reality show stars.
yeah. But it didn't work for Lindsay.
It didn't, I know. Let's talk about since you mentioned Austin, let's
Yes.
talk about Southern Charm because this week's episode, it looks like the divide between Austin and Craig is growing deeper. Austin was on Watch What Happens Live. He was saying a lot of stuff that was kind of, well, maybe poking at Craig, to show that maybe the friendship is not there anymore. But then juxtapose that, it was his birthday. I think it was his birthday. It was somebody's birthday.
Mhm.
And Craig was at the birthday dinner. And then Sally made a reel that you sent me where it was like a spoof of like
Oh,
heated
the other day.
rivalry and it was Austin and Craig. So the question, and then somebody wrote in a comment and it had me thinking, they wrote, are no, they said Craig and Austin are still friends. It's scripted. It's just for the show. And that made me sad. I don't want everything to be
I
scripted.
know.
Do you think that this fight is real?
So I wouldn't hold it against Austin and Craig. They want to make a hit reality show. They love the fame and the limelight. And they probably thought, what was last season? Last season was us fighting. We did well. Maybe we need
Mhm.
to continue this. But on the flip side, I don't know that they have it in them to keep the charade going. Because think about so I'm going to go to season two of
Yeah.
Roni. Jill and Bethany were in a slight fight, right? And it has come out that Jill told Andy, "Oh no, I want to see how this goes. Let's get some viewership. Let's see what happens. Let's keep going with this." Like
Oh,
she said something like that, and Andy's like, "I don't know that you want to do that."
I
Like
never
because
knew
remember
that.
she wouldn't make up with Bethany. Bethany kept ambushing her. She used the words, and she wouldn't make up with her. And then Bethany thought it was real, whereas Jill was using it for airtime. So I feel that
Mhm.
on these reality shows, even if you're trying to make it up, it takes a hold of itself, and they're both very emotional people that I feel like it may have started that way, but real emotions would have played into it and made that divide of the two deeper. So
I think
I don't think
yeah.
it's fully.
I think you're right. 100% on that because even if you're like, "Oh no, no, it's just for the show," eventually it starts to leak in. And I don't
Yes.
think either one of them would be like that great of an actor, but they're doing a great job. If they are
Yes.
acting, then I would say like you
Yes.
guys are in the wrong profession. You should be actors because you're pretty great at it because that fight between them at Austin's birthday dinner seemed real to me. And I feel like I can tell when people are acting and they do a bad job, you know? And so
Yes.
I'm impressed if this is just for the show, but maybe it is one of those things too that goes back and forth and someone was like, "Come on, you have to invite Craig to your birthday dinner this
Oh,
year,"
well,
And
wasn't
so that's why the whole group was there.
Well, and Whitner was asked on Watch What Happens Live. I think it was in the after show. I didn't watch the show. I saw the clips, and he was asked, "Why weren't you at the birthday dinner?" And he first joked, "Oh, I wasn't invited." Then he goes, "No, I just wasn't on the roster for the night." It's like, oh, so production decided because Rodrigo wasn't there. Why wasn't Rodrigo there
Mhm.
too?
Oh,
They
yeah,
must
and
have chosen that intention.
he's
Or Whitney said, "No, I only want these guys
oh,
there." Is he a
no,
producer?
true, true, yeah. That's a good point too, because we just heard, I don't know if I sent it to you, but it was a clip from Giggly Squad. And Hannah said, on reality TV, sometimes your friend is going through something and you're like, oh my God, I want to be here there for her.
Yeah.
So she's like, I ran over to her. This producer stopped me and said, no, Paige is going to comfort her. So
Mm,
production can get in the way because they want to
yeah.
show a different story. And so she was saying that they want to show that these other people are better friends than you and that person,
Yes.
even though maybe you were there too. Your intentions were good, but they don't want to show that. So that's very
Yeah.
interesting too. So yeah,
That makes
Whitner,
sense.
he was just like on Watch What Happens Live, he was answering these questions. Like Andy asked something like, "What did you think of Sally being so excited that Austin was broken up and like ready to jump his bones?" And he said, "On brand." Yeah, like I was like, "Oh, Whitner." And then they asked him what kind of lawyer would Craig be if he was like practicing law, and Whitner was like, "Personal injury." Yeah, and so he just was like, and you could tell that he just kinda sees people maybe how we see them,
I was
and
gonna say, is he
yeah,
our voice of reason? He just doesn't get the production time, but is he laying the groundwork? Hey, bring me back next season. I can
yeah,
be your voice of reason because we have Madison in there, but her voice of reason, it's still we have a history with her, right?
yeah,
So while she can be the voice of reason, but she's not because she's also playing the production game. Like what was it that she said to Audrey about Sally? That Sally said if Audrey were sorry
oh,
Sally said if
yes.
Austin were single, so she gets a little messy. But can we get like an old school Bethany? The second time I've mentioned her today. That's kind of crazy. If
That's
we can get an
okay.
old school kind of voice of reason Bethany, I think that would be a great role for Whitner to fill for us because we need him back.
I agree, I definitely think he is a great addition, and I think Molly Whitner, voice of reasons.
Yes.
I loved when
Yes.
Molly said that Sally was a psycho in this latest episode. I was like, "Yep, she clocked it."
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, Molly is our voice of reason too. We just
mhm,
aren't getting
mhm,
as much of her.
yeah. Let's talk about traders, and there's not going to be any spoilers here. We
Okay.
don't want to ruin anything. We want to talk about a potential all-star season.
Yes.
Okay, so tell me what you
So,
saw.
okay, I don't have the names written down, but the
I
Sun.
remember some of them, I think.
Okay, the Sun, the UK newspaper or magazine, said that they are production is working on a, I guess, US trader, celebrity traders all stars. So the 4 seasons we've had, choosing some of the all stars to be on it. And you got the names?
I know that Suri, who won the first season, she's from Survivor, and if you watched season 1, you know she's the one that won. I Boston Rob, Bob the drag queen, and I think that was last season. Phaedra Parks, her name is floated. Lisa Renna and Rob from this season, and I can't really remember if there was much out. There was another name that I didn't know who I was like, I don't know who that
Ari, right?
is. Ari, he's
Ari
also
from The
from
Bachelor.
season 1. Yes. And so I think this is a fabulous idea. You bring back all the traders and all the faithfuls that have won. Dylan Efron was on that list. They want to bring him back. Him and Boston Rob have like a bromance. So it would be really interesting to see people who played the game well come back together and see what kind of mess they create.
So I'm in the category of no, I don't like it.
Oh, really?
What I love about traders is so you have the housewives, you have the gamers. The gamers come in thinking, oh, I've got this. I'm a
Mhm.
gamer. I know how to play a game. The traders format is completely different than Big Brother Survivor. Survivor.
Yes,
Big Brother
yeah.
Survivor, there's so much downtime. So while cameras are on, they can constantly gameplay. Constantly the conversations. I mean, I would watch the live streams of Big Brother back in the day, and they are
Me
always
too.
talking about yeah, they're always talking about game moves. In traders, they cannot talk except in their allotted times when they're in the middle of their competitions, breakfast and like dinner time. So
Yeah.
they don't have the ability to really get into other people's minds. So people who are really good at gaming, playing chess, I think it's much harder for them in the trader's house to play that same game. So you come in with gamers, I feel like it's kind of an equal playing field.
Yeah.
You're a faithful,
Yeah.
your goal is only to figure out who is a traitor. I don't know that you necessarily need to be this like really strategic person. Now, if you're a trader, you need to be a like it's harder with someone who doesn't have the gaming experience or even just that way of thinking. Like Rob doesn't
Yes.
have gaming experience, but he's a chess player, right? So I actually like coming into it that you're seeing new people play this game and how they play the game. That's what I love about traders. Like throw in like a random ice skater, Johnny Weir, which you know
Yes.
how to play this game with Rob C from Big Brother. Well, he's the first one that goes home. So I like the newness and the equal playing field. You bring in people that have already played it for a while. I kind of know how you play. I want to see more Bravo celebrities on the show.
Oh, of course, yes. I mean, they would have to definitely get a good amount of housewives on there that have played the game before, and maybe you give someone like a Chanel Ayan who was booted off, like, really early. Maybe you bring her
Yes.
someone like that back just for, like, fun, and
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying because yes, it is a level playing field, and so then once they have the experience, they're like, "Oh, well, this is how I would play now," right? And it might
Yeah.
be but it would be I think it would be interesting to see how they would gameplay after already playing the game.
True.
So,
That's true. Because it seems that at that round table, if your name is brought up, you're done. Like you are cooked. If your name is
yeah,
brought up,
yeah,
unless that's just how production is showing it to us and maybe other names are thrown out. But I just feel like your name, it's either this week or next week, you're out. They
yeah.
just jump on that name and it's over.
Like,
Right?
eventually yeah, like, oh, I can't say what happened last night.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
That,
well, never mind. But yeah, it does seem like once even somebody is, like, floated and they, like, defend themselves, usually it's like, "Well, let's go back to them," because we've run out of other people. I do
yeah.
think that no spoilers, that Candace and Rob are playing a good traitor game so far. What do you
Yeah.
think?
So I saw last week's episode when I can spoil that, right? It's
Yeah,
been a
yeah,
week.
that's fine.
Lisa left. I thought that Rob went too hard. That he was the one not only planting the seed, but he just put on a full in tree in the yard and told everyone, look, it's Lisa. Lisa's the one that her story doesn't make sense. Everything. I'm like, what are you doing? You're taking on the
Yeah,
Colton role
yeah,
of being the leader and telling everybody what to do, but you're a traitor. And you're doing that to announce who the traitor is. So now every week, are you going to continue with that role? And so I mean, if I were Candace, I'd be very worried.
yes. I think you're right, and I think in this game, it's so important to be consistent because that's what people like, "Oh, why were you talking so much?" And it's like, he never talked before. Now he's talking all of a sudden. Yeah, I did think
Yeah.
he came after her and he didn't need to. I was like, don't do that because Colton's going to do it anyway. So let him do the dirty work. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to
Yeah.
do this. It does seem like people really listen to him. They really
Yes.
like him. They love
Yes.
him. And I mean, so far, he's like, just kind of
He's
looks
doing
like,
well.
like, yeah, he's just,
But I think you have to be careful. Like he's been like that, but now that he has taken on this leader
mm
persona,
hmm, mm
that
hmm.
doesn't last long in the house.
No, no, it doesn't. So be careful. Be
Did you see
careful.
the theory that even Andy Cohen put it out there saying, I wonder if Rob told Colton that Lisa was a traitor, that they have some
Yes, I have
little,
seen that theory. And Lisa Renna was on Jeff
yes, she did too.
Lewis. And she and Shane, who's on Jeff Lewis, he said, "Oh, this is a theory." And Lisa's like, "I kind of feel like that could be right because like it was just kind of how she was feeling watching it back." So
But would production allow that? Isn't I mean, and if
I
it's
know.
on camera, we would have
No.
seen it. If
Yeah, we
it's
would
not
have.
on camera, production would have. But there's a connection between them two,
Hmm.
those two, right? It's where it lies. Like, do you feel like one has a little more power over the other?
Yes, but I think it could change at any second.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
I feel like because I think Colton thinks he has more power, but really
Mhm.
Rob has more power because he's a traitor. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
Yeah.
yeah, excited for you to watch, 'cause
I know. I'm excited.
was there
I know
anything
our
Yeah,
Thursdays are you watch Traders, I watch Beverly Hills on Thursdays
exactly,
because
I
that's
know.
your favorite and Beverly Hills is my favorite.
Oh, yes, well, you had such a great question. Let's end on the poll question
Okay.
that you posted. You posted a poll that said, "What are you the most excited to watch? Summer House, Southern Charm, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, or Traitors?" And I picked Traitors because maybe it's because because it's like happening. I feel like it's kind of in real time, even though it's not.
It
When
does.
the
It does.
other shows they filmed like a year ago and they've been like editing them, and I've seen so much on social media about what's happening
Yeah.
now in their lives, so maybe that's why. But tell them your answer.
Mine is Beverly Hills. Always has been my favorite. And I don't know why. I keep reading on reasons why people dislike it.
Mhm.
But for some, it doesn't change my mind. It doesn't skew me. I think it's, and I've talked about it, the aesthetics, the wealth, the luxury,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
connections to Hollywood. It's my, early 2000 Perez Hilton
Oh,
obsession.
yes, I love that. I also really enjoy I enjoy all the shows. I get really excited to watch Southern Charm. I get like, "Oh," I'm like, "Yay, what's gonna happen this week?" Like, it's so messy, and I'm just like, I don't know, it's like a really fun escape show for me, where I'm just, like, completely escape in it, and, like, it's a completely different way of life than, like, what I'm leading, so
Oh, yeah. And
I'm
it's
like,
across
"Oh,
the
yeah, it's
country.
in the South." I've, like, never, like, been there, never, experienced that, so I'm always just
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this is so interesting."
Wait, with this, so that's interesting because that's how I feel about Beverly Hills because of California. Anything that's California, LA, or and New York
Oh,
City based, love that. The lifestyle. Whereas I'm in Texas, so Charleston, it's the South. Like it's a different culture for sure,
yeah,
but it
yeah.
doesn't feel like I'd rather watch. If I had to choose, I would choose Summer House because I've
Right, and
never been
like
to the
oh, yeah,
Hamptons.
uh-huh, totally, yeah.
So the life of the city. I big reader with my name. So I've read so many books that are based in Manhattan.
Mm.
So many books. So that's actually like the way you bring that up because that is such a good
Yes.
point.
No, that's
We
because but with Beverly Hills, like, I've spent most of my whole life in California. I spent a lot of time in Southern
yeah,
California. My sister lives in LA, so I know some of the places that, like, they'll go or, like, I'm like, "Oh, that's cool," but it's fun to
yeah,
see. But, like, yeah, I like watching the, like, with, like, Charleston, I'm like, "It looks so cute," and, like,
yeah.
everyone's mom is always calling and, like, telling them to get married, like, find a man. It's hilarious. I'm like, "Oh my gosh," like, w it's not like it's still like that, but not
It's
as much over
different than
here. Yeah,
yes,
right? I'm like,
yes.
oh, like, my mom doesn't say that to me ever, and I love
Which
that, but
and I get it, like these girls wanting to get married and find a guy, like that's very typical in the South. You
yeah.
finish college at 22, you get married at 20, you get engaged in college and you get married right when you get out.
Oh
Like that's
my
a very common
gosh.
thing.
I
So
know, and
them and their competition is not surprising.
oh, yeah, totally. This has been such a wonderful
Yes,
chat.
it's been
I'm so
fun.
happy to have you here. Again, we do this every Friday around 10:30, 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And I'm Real Mel's of Bravo. This is Sonia, Bravo, Bravo Books and Bravo, and just booking around.
Yeah.
And follow us, and we'll be doing this next week too. So subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
All right.
Right?
Bye.
Okay, bye.